Hello, Craig here with a version of the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Uh, Made a little bit of a glitch somewhere there, almost lost it, but that's good enough to show you because the verses and the chorus bits are kind of repetitive. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll have a look through it. It's simpler than it looks in that it's kind of repetitive, but having said that, it takes a little bit of concentration for some of this bit at the start. So the first chord I'm playing is a G. It's basically in G. So, and we're plucking arpeggios for this single strings, single notes. So for the G, now instead of our normal G, I'm straight away playing this note on the 5th fret. And I'm going to finger it with the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and my pinky on the 5th fret on the 1st string. Those two fingers are going to stay there quite a lot. There's a bit of movement up and down, but they kind of anchor there. So back to starting in G, and then I'm going to lift lift these fingers off and play. It turns into a G7th. So that's the important note in a G7. So from the G, what I'm playing is 1st fret, back to this fret on the 5th fret note that I'm already playing, and then I replace my 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the 2nd string there. So back to the start in the G shape with this extra finger. Those are the first 3 notes. Then I let go and I play on the 2nd string. 1st fret, 5th fret on the 1st string, and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So then it's a C chord, but I'm actually just going to play an open string, 2nd string, and back to these 2 anchor fingers. So it's not much different to previously. Before it was a different order. Low, high, low, and this is low, low, high, if that makes any sense. And then the final fret, the final chord, I'm barring all this 3rd fret here, so I can play the 3rd string and the top string. And then I kind of come back to my G. So let's play it through really slowly as I'm explaining it. The G and the 5th fret. Then lift off, 1st fret here. Place the 3rd finger again. Then lift off, place it back, and the 5th fret at the top, and then the change is the 3rd fret here, 3rd string, 1st string, and then 2nd fret and the 3rd fret there again. So you end up coming back to this G because it's all sort of in G, and the 5th fret finger is kind of always staying there as well. Just lifts off so we can get these notes on the top string. Alright, so yeah, I really recommend you slow that right down and listen to the notes, and you've just got to kind of work it out. I'll play it one more time really slowly. And that places us for the first chord, which is the G. G7th. Now, the melody, after the G7th, I'm letting go to play the top string, and then I'm fretting the G note on the second string, 3rd fret, and those two notes become a real melody. This open A and the G played here. So it's G7th. The next chord's a C major 7th, and those two notes again. Then it's a G augmented. So to play that, it's a G shape, and your 3rd string note is going to be sharpened one. So it's on the 3rd fret. So it's 3rd fret and the 3rd fret and the 2nd fret. And once again, in between all these chords is a little, those two notes. G, then G7th, and those two notes, G7th, C major 7th, and these two notes, and then G augmented, and these two notes again. G, same pattern, and it changes when we play the C here, just doing the melody on the top note, on the top string, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and then I'm fretting the 3rd fret, the chord is a D sharp, and followed by an F. Yeah, that's correct. D sharp. D. Sorry. Oh no, followed by an F. D, D sharp, E, F. Alright, so I'm going to repeat all that phrase, but yeah, the trick for that last bit is I'm just playing the bottom 3 strings, and I'm just fretting the 3rd fret. And the melody is in the outer of those 3 strings. But I'm not playing the very top string. Alright, we'll go back to the start of the chords. G, G7th, place this 3rd fret note, C major 7th, and the 3rd fret note, G augmented, G, G7th, then it goes to C, and then fret all the 3rd fret, and once on the 5th fret. That's the whole phrase. It kind of repeats. G, then it's a G sus. I'm playing the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. Then back to the G7th. And that same little riff, 2-note riff. Somebody told me. C major 7th. And so close. G augmented. It's G, Now this is tricky. This is a G7th, but I'm fretting the bottom two fingers and straight away going up to this 5th fret, and then finishing at the G7th. So it's a G7th chord, but after the G, fretting with these two fingers. You could fret the 3rd finger as well, but you want to stretch up straight away to here. Come down to the G7th. And then the final chord in this phrase is a C. And I'm strumming it, I actually strum it backwards so that I make sure I hit go with kaleidoscope eyes. I want to hit the G note, even though I'm playing a C. Alright. Told you this was a bit tricky to follow, but it's not, they're not that difficult chords, they're just some odd chords. G, G7th, C major 7th, G augmented, G, C, 3rd fret, 5th fret, G, G7, C major 7th, G augmented, G, G7th, but up the 5th fret, 3rd and 2nd fret, and finishing on C. Play it one more time, then we'll go on. In fact, I'll play it from the top so you see how it all fits, pretty slowly. From the C, I'm now going to a D sharp by barring the 3rd fret again, and this time including the 6th fret. Alright, congratulations if you've got this far. That's the trickiest bit. Then all the rest of it is wrapped around this bar chord. So in this shape, I'm going to play it's a G sharp. So actually, if you pretend that's your capo, you're going to play an F shape here. So that's there your. So it's the 4th fret on the 2nd string, and the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then I play a C7th, but I'm going to stay on this bar, and I'm just putting my finger on the 4th fret here. And it sounds the same. It's a C7, but I only play it for one note, and then I place my 3rd finger on the 5th fret to make a proper C. So we've gone from here, C7th, and then a full C. And then I'm going to play an F minor shape, or kind of one, just by bouncing these two fingers up a string. And I'm only really playing these 3. Sounds a little bit odd if I play this bottom one. I don't really care that much. It's okay, but it's not quite in the chord. But those are the 3 notes, and then back to just one finger changes to go back to the G. Sorry, G sharp. That's a G, G sharp. So the shape here is quite easy, and it's all the melody is just in these chords. That finger changes down one, this one lifts off for one strum, then this one places down, then they both shift up one, and then your third finger shifts down one to get back to where you started. And all the melody's actually in there, so newspaper taxis up here, da, da, da. I'm really strumming up to make sure that I'm hitting that change. Then it repeats with the C seventh and the C. And then just this last phrase, I'm still keeping my third fret bar, and I'm going to play the 6th fret here, 5th fret, and then an open. I'm really just playing the melody on that string, but I'm dragging back and including the strings below it. So I'm kind of just getting a 2-string harmony there, but it's third finger is barring the 3rd fret. These fingers are on the 2nd string, 6th fret, 5th fret, and then open, just all on the 3rd fret, playing the bottom 3 strings. And we're back to a G7th is the final chord. So that's the second section. And that section wasn't so hard. It's really just, it stays in the one place, and there's just a little bit of very similar movement in these 2 fingers. So let's play that again. So here we are, we've made it to the D sharp. G sharp. And we go into the chorus. Alright, I'll play, I won't play the first finger picking bit, I'll play from the first melody of the verse. G. A few percussive strums as I'm sliding up the neck to the 5th fret bar and playing the 8th fret. So it's an F chord. Now the next 2 notes I'm going to play, I think it becomes an F sus by placing my 2nd finger on the on the 6th fret. So from the F, playing that finger there, and then this 3rd finger replaces the my little finger on the 7th fret, and I think that becomes an F major 7th sus, because you're just piling on that. That would be an F major 7th. That's your F. That's your F sus, and when you put them together, that's an F major 7th sus. But there we go. And basically, from the F, the melody, you're playing that on the top string. So it's not a lot of movement really. 2nd finger goes down, 3rd finger goes down and swaps. Both come off, mainly just to get this top note that I've been fretting the whole time on the 5th fret, and down to C. And a little melody. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. So it's a C, but I'm playing both of those on the 3rd fret, both these strings. So I guess it's a C5 chord. Back up here. It's very repetitive, that's all you're doing. 5th fret and the 8th fret here. 2nd finger on the 2nd string. 3rd finger on the 3rd string, swap over. Lift these fingers off and down to a C. Just repetitive. And then I'm playing a C chord, I think. Yeah. Getting a high harmony on the 7th fret and a little bass sort of run by playing the 3rd fret here on the 2nd string. So you kind of get, that's the bass that you're hearing, at the same time as we're getting the very high melody all the time. Back to the G. And I think we've noted out the whole song. So with all those bits, it's pretty repetitive. And yeah, you kind of get used to this this pattern. If you think of the note, if you follow the melody that's playing, it's this 3rd fret. That's going over and over, circulating through the chords. Picture yourself. Oh, sorry. G to G7th is that interval. Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and changes. But picture yourself in a boat on a river. So that's the reason for this augmented chord. It sounds kind of weird, but really that's all the bass is doing. And then you add on top of that progression, you add the little melody. So it's very repetitive here. Only using a few notes. That's very John Lennon to have only a couple of notes and a very repetitive phrase, almost a monotone. You can hear that bass run going down. Because you're on the 3rd fret with the C, that's the one you're going to bar now. And then this F shape. It's actually, if you're thinking of shapes, it's an F shape there, then it's an A7th and an A shape. That's what you would play if you were down here, but it's all been shifted up to a bar chord. And just these notes, G7th. So now I use those percussive strums up to the 5th fret. And that's the whole phrase. It's really easy. And then there's one thing I haven't shown you when I go after this part on the 7th fret. There's another one where you play G and add this 5th fret note. That's sort of the melody that's doing. And that's just the turnaround to go straight into Lucy in the Sky again. And rather than fade out, I'd simply went back to a repeat of the first turnaround. Exactly the same chords as the start. Okay, thank you very much. Hope that makes sense. This really is a tricky bit to get used to, so listen to the recording, listen to me playing it at the start, and where I've slowed it right down. But yeah, it helps to really figure out the order of the notes. Sometimes they're ascending, and sometimes it kind of jumps up and comes back again. That's what it makes it a bit tricky. And then this little chord progression makes sense once you're used to it, but particularly because most of you wouldn't be used to this G augmented shape, and it is quite crowded here. And then on top of those little chord changes, maybe you get the chords first. And once you've done that, then you throw in the where you're always throwing these two notes in between. Once you've done that, you've kind of nutted out the song, because the rest of it is just quite simple chords with little changes that they're really nice to play. All right, this has been a bit of a long recording, so I'll leave it there. But good luck. Thanks.